Hey, I'm Carlos Garcia, and today we're doing the second part of Worst Whiskey Wednesdays. But today we're gonna do bourbons. Last week we did rye. This is, I try to keep it like around $50. I'm basically redoing an episode I did 4 months ago, and I'll get into that. But then I added another bottle, and that was like $80. So basically under $80 bourbons. None of them are like crazy allocated or anything like that. So we'll see if they do any better this time. But first, let's do a giveaway. All right, so this one is for the Copper and Cass cigar video. There's 2 ounce sample of all 3 of those bottles. And the winner is Matt Bykowski. Your wife wins, now you win. I still haven't sent those samples out, so you're just gonna get a big box of samples. So the OGs are killing the wheel lately. So, all right, so that's done. All right, right before I get into this, I did miss an upload. This is the first time I'm recording after Friday's debacle in my world. So I recorded Friday's video Thursday, went out to a party with my friends, and didn't get home until late. I had to wake up early to go to Sagamore to go meet up with SLB, Kurt and Trent from SLB, and Marcus from the Bourbon Judge was also there, so that was cool. So I didn't get to edit it and upload it, so I just pushed that to Monday's video. So if you haven't seen Monday's video, it happened a couple days ago. But this Friday's video, it should be like a behind the scenes Sagamore pick with SLB. I'm hoping to edit that by Friday. So that should be the next video. But for today's video, let's get into it. So a couple months ago, I reviewed this Bulliet Bourbon Bottle and Bond, this Pendleton 10-year bourbon. Let's see, this Redwood Empire 101 proof. And did it have an age statement? I don't see one, but I think it did. If you want to know more information about these bottles, go check out that other video because I'm sure I put more effort into it. Today I just want to see if they actually taste any better. And I'm also going to add this Hidden Barn Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 109 proof, the Cherry Picker batch. Mash bill 70 corn, 20 rye, 10% barley. So this came in last place in my May's Whiskey Cigar Club. It came in last place for the group and for myself. I scored it a 2. So all of these scored 2 or below. And again, with this series, I'm trying to see if maybe a couple months later, if they're any better and stuff like that, maybe just a different day. So that's the point of this series. Doesn't mean it's like the worst whiskeys ever, but don't tell Beyonce fans. I got some pushback a little bit from some Beyonce fans. I can tell they're Beyonce fans. I've never seen them in the comment section before. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so on the nose on A, all right, most of it is good. So there's oak, there's some sweetness, there's some red Jolly Rancher. Overall, it's a pretty good nose. There is like that crayon waxy note in there, which is not the best note, but and a little bit of permanent marker. But overall, actually not a pretty good nose. But remember last week's video, I remember really liking the noses. And then going to the palates kind of was like, nope. So B on the nose, Barney, hay, there is some peanut note, and then it's like funky. This is just a funky nose. The peanut note's turning more like peanut butter though, so it is, that's decent. It's definitely like a Barney type profile, but with some peanut butter. So not terrible, different, you know. Sure, some people aren't gonna like that Barney note. Well, I don't think I've ever said cigar on as a note, but I got like cigar notes on the nose. Red fruit, vanilla, nutty cigar. Interesting, because when I first went into the nose on this glass, it was very light, like hard to get anything, and then stuff started like showing up. Yeah, the cigar note's almost like a cigarette note. Let me see if it's which one it is. Yeah, it's cigarette. It's pretty sure I've said cigarette before. I'm curious because I didn't look at my notes before this. I just know, like I told you this last week. I basically pulled from my spreadsheet like the top 20 worst scoring things, and this whole episode I did previously all scored bad. And I was sad because like the whole point of that episode was like, oh, brand new offerings from different distilleries at a good price. These are all around $50. You know, 90 proof, 100, 101. And they all were not my favorite, so I was like, damn it. Oof. Okay, so D is bready. This is so grainy and young. Okay, so it is grainy young, but that bread, no, it's like fresh bread. And like you get a bread right out of the oven. Like my mom used to make bread all the time as kids, and that's a good smell. That is fresh bread. I'm pretty sure I've never said that note before, so that's cool. All right, let's get in the palate. All right, so this first sip, but it's complex, but not all the notes were my favorite. So there was like this red fruits. It was very sharp on the tongue. And there was like a dark fruit. And on the finish, I wrote anise. I'm not even sure if that's the proper description, but hopefully I can figure it out on the couple of next sips. But the finish was also short. It's not very flavorful, and I wrote thin on the finish. I did get vanilla on the finish, which was good, a good note. Well, overall, it's just, it's okay. I'm sure it's gonna score low again. Yeah, it's okay. It's very thin. None of these are cask strength, so when they add water, kind of like makes it thinner. So if you're adding a lot of water, kind of removes a lot of flavor, and that's kind of what I feel like this is going on, where maybe it's just too watered down. This would probably be good at cask strength. So an idea for whatever bottle that is. Okay, let's get into B. I like A way better. Wow. So B to me tastes like a bad red wine. Like if you have a wine that you're not supposed to be aging and you have it for a while, it almost turns like vinegary. This isn't like the vinegary note. It just tastes like bad red wine. I couldn't get over that note. I don't like this at all. I'm curious what I said about this bottle before. I wrote gross. Like this is not hitting my palate at all. Not in a good way. I'm giving that a 1. I'm not going back to that. I wrote youthful this time, so another not good note. But that is not, this is not my profile right here. Oh, you know what? Let me drink some water. Why did I do this series? Man, everything's making A look real good today. So bubblegum, red fruit, chalky on the finish. Overall, this drinks the hottest out of the first 3. It has a lot more spice. There could be rye spice for sure. You got some vegetal notes on the finish. Overall, not that good. And on the lingering, it's kind of like that greeny vegetal note. Well, I have a haircut now, so the battery was dying, and I saw it was coming down, but I had thought, so my camera has like 2 external batteries, and the other one I never use, because I always use like the longer one, and I thought the other one was fully charged, because I charged it when I first got it, but apparently not. So, this is actually 2 days later. Obviously this is all new. I ended up dumping that whiskey, which didn't cry too, I didn't shed too much tear over it, because this is Worst Whiskey Wednesday. So I had my wife pour a little bit of A, B. I was on the first sip on C, so I'll just do C and D again and then see if there's any new notes. Now, 2 days later, am I gonna get any new notes on A or B? Who knows? But I'll figure that out when I pause it and everything. So let's get back into this. C. All right, so I got a little bit more dark fruit this time. I'm obviously looking at the notes from the other day. On the finish, not a good peanut note. I would try to figure out if it was like a wet peanut or like just like a bad peanut, but not a good overall peanut note on the finish. It wasn't as vegetal as the other day though. Yeah, the finish is not that good for me. It's a little off-putting. That peanut note's kind of like watery. Overall though, the flavors aren't terrible, but it's also just not good. So it's gonna be 2 or below, I would think. But let's get into D. God, that is grainy. Fresh bread though. I couldn't just have said like, you know what? This file's corrupted. We don't need to get to D. D is not good. Oh man. It is very grain, corn, young. On the finish, it's more of that yeast, dirty socks. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Yeah. This needs a lot more age on it. And, you know, some of these have age statements on it. But man, that like dirty sock, no, ugh. reluctantly go for a third sip. And it's super crafty, but the lingering note is gross. All right, so I don't know why I'm gonna do this, but B and D were definitely like my bottom two, so I'll compare those two to see if either one isn't gonna end up being a score of the one. And then A and C, I'll kind of compare to see how those do. But I'll be right back in a little bit. All right, I went back and forth, and the only new note I got was actually on the Pipe Dream, and I went there straight after the Hidden Barn because I didn't like the Pipe Dream a lot the other day. I actually got red fruit this time. Coming off the Hidden Barn, it tasted okay. I think the Hidden Barn one would make anything else taste good. Now, if anyone's had this, please let me know if you like this. You can, you can have the bottle. I scored, so let's get into scoring. Or, oh yeah, I'll do scoring first. So, Hidden Barn was my last place. I've never scored anything under a 1. I scored a 0.75. It is not my profile. I'll leave it at that. Okay, so then went back and forth with these guys, and so the Pipe Dream still came in third place. Now I had it at 1, but because today it wasn't terrible, I gave it a 1.15. Just, you know, give it a little bit, just because, you know, it wasn't terrible today, but it was pretty bad the other day. And then it came down to these two, and the Bullets, going back and forth, was vegetal again, like the other day. So I scored a 1.25. And the Pendleton 10-year, I scored a 1.35. So none of these redeemed themselves. They're all still some of the worst whiskey that I've tried this year, because these are all new bottles to me this year. So not my favorites. So if you want to win 2-ounce samples of some of the worst whiskey I own, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment with the hashtag worst bourbon, and that'll be it. Hashtag worst bourbon. It's a little bit longer, I know. But, you know, you guys are gonna try to win some of the best whiskeys out there. So, you know, lucky you guys. So let me know if you guys have had any of these. What are your thoughts on it? I'm sure some of you guys have tried some of these, because these are around $50. This one's $80, and it's the worst one. And if you haven't watched the video where I reviewed these 3 earlier in the year, I'll make sure I'll put it in the description, so you can just click on it. It was a few months ago, and so there's that. So don't do nothing stupid, like buy these bottles if And if you do, don't get caught. Bye.